Let me ask D though. Real Madrid though, man. The move. What are you thinking, D? Real Madrid free. Like, is it a good move? Is it pressure? What do you reckon, bro?
You know what? I feel like there's two sides to it. Obviously, the one side is obviously you feel like we look at Trent and say he's won everything and stuff like that. But we got to stop acting like Liverpool meant to be happy that Trent's leaving. Like, why would any fan be happy that Trent's leaving? They're gonna be up for, innit? I've never known a player. Very rarely does a player leave a club that's in the peak of their powers and the fans are happy about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know, unless you told me a time when that's happened. I don't know. We're giving Liverpool fans stick for being upset that Trent's leaving. That don't even make sense.
We're not giving them stick for being upset.
You misread it.
Entitlement.
It's the shit they're giving him.
Yeah, but they're not going to be happy that he's leaving, are they?
No, but Rom's ain't happy. But he ain't calling Trent a twat.
What I don't like. I'm not saying they should be happy he's leaving, whatnot. But I don't like. There's a lack of appreciation. It's almost like the last 7-8 years have not happened. Like, it's just been erased from everyone's mind. That's what I don't like. And I see what you're saying, but it's not like what LB said. He's gone to City or Arsenal or United. He's even made sure he's removed himself from the country. Knowing our luck, we're going to butt Real Madrid. We butt them every year, so we're probably going to butt them, right? Yeah. But like, that's still by chance. We have to butt them by the draw. Where if he went to another Premier League team, it's guaranteed twice a season, maybe even 3 times a season if you butt them in a domestic cup. Like, he's actually left. I think, in my opinion, he's done the right thing. But our fans, they are acting like this guy's one snake and he's a scrub and he's done nothing for a team. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, but that's how it goes, though, isn't it? Like that's how it.
Did you do that with Henry when he went to Barcelona?
No, or we didn't leave in his peak. So it's not the same. When Fabregas left, when Nasri left, when Ashley Cole left.
Yeah, but Ashley Cole and Nasri are not comparable because they went to another Premier League team. This guy's leaving the country, bro.
Fabregas went to Barcelona. Fabregas went home.
Yeah.
What you sat there and slagged him off?
Of course. You mad?
Oh my god!
Oh, you know why they left?
You leave the club.
They left because they were ambitious. They left because they were ambitious.
You leave the club that I love.
That's what I'm saying.
One sec. If you leave the club that I love, at a time when we need you, straight smoke.
Straight smoke. Why not know any smoke for your owners? Because they all left. You're
going into other stuff. You're going into other stuff. I'm saying.
No, we're talking about the same thing here, bro. Because you're talking about these guys leaving, and you're saying straight smoke. But why did they leave, bro? Ask yourself that.
Why did
they leave?
And it's indeed, to be fair, it isn't about money as well. Because apparently,
you're saying why you're not blaming the owners. You do blame the owners. Liverpool fans hate the owners. What are you talking about?
Not all of them.
They hate the owners, bro.
Don. Bro,
some guys your fan base.
The Liverpool fans hate their owners, bro.
Say that again, bro.
Wait, you're being cheeky. You're being cheeky because to start every transfer window, you even said you don't hate your owners, so don't try and do
Liverpool hate their owners.
But the thing is though, Roms. Are you telling me that there's certain guys in your fan base that don't like defend what FSG do?
No chance.
5%. Probably like 5%. That's
Liverpool hate FSG.
But the thing is, let's go back to D's point anyway, because D's trying to ignore why
you changed the point, but I was making a point.
I didn't change the point. You were like, it's straight smoke for you. But I'm like, okay, but why don't you look at your club in that situation as well?
Because Who are you talking about? Liverpool.
I'm talking about the players that you mentioned that left your club. A lot of those players that you mentioned right there.
What are you talking about? The Arsenal. You know what you're saying is not making sense. You're saying not making sense. You're saying. I'm going to tell you. You have to let me finish so you can understand actually what I'm saying. The point is,
and I understood it.
You can't make a point on a point that I haven't finished. No, you haven't. You're not listening. What I'm saying is, Liverpool hate their owners and they hate that Trent's leaving. They're blaming their owners and they're blaming Trent. No one is happy that a player that is at the peak of their powers is going to leave their team. That does not happen. So you're saying why didn't Arsenal hate who? Who are you saying? Why didn't Arsenal what?
I never said why did Arsenal hate this guy. You
said about
you said about these players that left your club and you said, it's straight smoke for getting anyone that leaves my club. But I'm saying, well, look at the reasoning as to why they left your club, bro. That's what I'm saying to you. Why did Van Persie leave Arsenal? Why did Nasri leave Arsenal? Why did Clichy leave Arsenal?
Yeah, but these guys went on to win more trophies. They were obviously right in the long run. Like Ashley Cole left.
You were angry at them at the time, right? Of course I'm angry because I'm an Arsenal fan. Yeah, and that's fine. But end of the day, Nasri, Clichy, all these guys that left, they sleep fine at night, knowing they made that right decision. Yeah, there's a famous interview when Nasri finished when Nasri won the league that year when he left. He literally came out saying, "I know I made the right decision." That's what he said.
What's that got to do with what I'm saying?
Because you're talking about you sound very entitled, bro. You sound very entitled. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
what?
it's straight
I mean,
smoke.
that is above. Listen.
It's straight smoke. And I'm like, it's these guys' careers, bro. These guys' careers. End of the day.
I don't know if what I'm saying is because this is what I'm confused about what you're saying. You're making two different points. You're saying that I feel I sound entitled. That's fine.
Yeah.
But my point is, there's no in the history of football. I very rarely do I know a player that's in the peak of their powers that leave the club that the club is happy to say goodbye, have a good career at another club. Very rarely. I don't remember the last. You told me a player that's done that they had a nice goodbye. Tell me a player.
A nice goodbye.
Yes, I'm not speaking Swahili.
What do you mean?
I'm speaking clear, plain English.
Yeah, but D, I don't.
There's one. There's two. D. Yeah, there's actually two. Ronaldo when he left United to. United fans hate him like that, and Hazard. Chelsea fans clapped Hazard off and went.
Yeah, go on.
However, I was going to say the big difference there, and I agree with what you're saying, D, to an extent. Trent is one of our own, and we're currently winning things right now. So a lot of fans are looking at that. Hold on, because there's years we haven't won anything. We're champions right now, thinking, hold on, you should stay here and want to be a part of this. However, why I understand what Don was saying earlier, because there's no evidence to suggest that we're going to keep on strengthening. Why? Because we have never done it under this ownership. We just haven't. So Trent's looking at a point where a lot of our fans are aggrieved because they're like, hold on, we're actually very good right now. You should want to stay and win more for your club. But he's like, hold on, you've never bolstered the squad. I don't trust these owners to continue doing it. Because what if we just win the league again, then go another 5-6 years without winning the league? He's probably looking at it like, and imagine if he stayed, he might be looking at it like, yeah, I stayed at my boy club, but I could have won more at Madrid. Do you know what I mean? So,
but I'm not. Listen, you can make like rational points about why Trent is leaving and why Liverpool should be happy, not happy, but to accept that he's leaving. This is irrational. Football fans are not rational.
I think Jamie, man.
You're not saying it as if to say that everyone is like sitting down saying, yeah, good luck, Trent. Like, the players behind the scenes will be like, yeah, go, man, go and pick up yourself and do your thing. But football fans are fanatic about their club. Why are they?
One thing we got,
that's how it goes.
Just to kind of round this up, I think the clear message is don't let Liverpool react the way they want to react. If they want to be mad about it, they want to be mad. If they don't, but I don't think the word entitlement is the right word, Don. I'm not gonna lie to you. If they want to react in that way, I think it's fair.
You're telling me that the Scousers that want Trent to basically finish his career at Liverpool is not entitlement.
No. That's not what I said. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah, but football fans are entitled. That's what
in the same breath. No, Don, quickly. It's a quick point. Side. In the same breath, yeah. When you're like, Liverpool fans can react how they want to, of course. But also the ones like myself that appreciate what he's done and can accept him leaving, we can react how we want to as well.
That ain't right, bro. You're telling me that I'm entitled because I want Foden to stay at City for the rest of his career.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you just said, though, isn't it?
LB. Ideally, you want these.
Maybe you're naive. You're naive.
No, he's just saying it because it doesn't link to him. If it was, you'd be upset if Cole Palmer left this season. If Cole Palmer's not one of your own, and if he left, you would be vexed, right or wrong?
Of course, I'll be angry. Of course, I'll be angry.
Why?
I would, because I want him to stay at the club. Of course,
there you go then.
Oh, there you go then.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying, bro. You're not listening to what I'm saying, right? Roms ideally would like Trent to stay at Liverpool. That's 100%. He would love him to stay at Liverpool. But the reality is, he's not staying at Liverpool. He's moving on. But Roms is not reacting in an entitled manner. He's saying, do you know what? You've given me a lot.
Yeah, but that's what I said. It's two sides of the story. This
is the point that I'm making, though. Roms isn't entitled for wanting Trent to stay. What I'm saying is the reaction in Trent wanting to leave is showing me if you're entitled or not, right? Roms right now is showing me that he's not entitled.
You only see one side of the story. Why is it bad for someone else who's feeling a different way? Why?
I never said that, bro.
You're not into people's consideration of like, yo, if that guy feels that way and that guy feels that way, why are you leaning towards one side? Why
why is it just more?
They can feel that type of way, Saeed. But end of the day, like I've said, you have to remember that these footballers have their careers, and
I agree.
What they want to do in their career, unfortunately, bro, as fans, we can't really dictate that. That's the point that I'm making.
I hear it.
That don't make sense. That
makes perfect sense.
No way, it doesn't make sense. No way, it doesn't make sense.
Let me finish my point because you want to finish your point earlier. Let me finish my point, right?
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense because Trent right now, you said he's in his prime and he's in his peak. Yeah. If he signs another contract at Liverpool right now, he'll be going into his 30s, and that's his next big contract, right? Where's the guarantee that Liverpool, that Real Madrid will come in for him again, right?
No, but you're making a point from Trent's point of view.
Hold on, D. It might be a situation now where Trent starts to fall off a little bit. We already know defensively he's not a madman like that, really. Another guy comes in the scene. Trent gets dropped. Trent gets injured. All of a sudden now Trent's going down a level. He's going to a mid-table team and all of these things. Players think about these things in their career, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's talking about it from a Trent point of view. You're talking about it from a player point of view. We're talking about the Liverpool fans. Yeah. Why are the Liverpool fans irritated that Trent's leaving? You're talking about it from Trent's point of view. It makes perfect sense because this is his last contract, £40 million signing on fee, gets to travel the world, see another country, live somewhere else, go for trophies. He's achieved everything at Liverpool. It makes sense. From a Liverpool point of view, it makes no sense because they're going to see it, Liverpool fans, like, you're winning trophies here. You're a Scouser. You grew up. We more or less raised you from a Liverpool point of view. You're winning trophies right now, all the biggest trophies. So to them, they're seeing it. Why would you want to leave?
Yeah.
Why do you think Liverpool fans are going to? Why do you think Liverpool fans? One sec. Why do you think Liverpoul fans are going to see it like, go and enjoy yourself in Real Madrid? What Liverpool fans going to see it like that?
No one's going to say that.
No one's saying that. But the active slagging the guy off is what I think is wrong.
Yeah, that's what I don't think.
When you then slag it off, when you then slag him off, that then becomes entitlement because you're then now all of a sudden having this feeling that he should stay, and therefore,
he has to stay.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making.
No, but that's a whole different conversation.
I know you want to move on, but in my opinion, because the fans that are angry, listen, you're entitled to feel how you want to feel, but I just feel like fans should say, you've done your thing, cut, and then don't have to speak about him again like it's done. But when someone are going in on him and saying some mad stuff, that's the bit I don't personally agree with. That's where I agree with Don. That's where entitlement comes in, because hold on. Like, you're saying all these things that he has an obligation to stay. It's like, no. You don't have to care about him. Because when he goes to Madrid, I don't care about him. Like,
but it's different because he's a Scouser. It's different.
So D, let me just
it's different, bro.
When you're bred in the city.
I don't want you.
Final point. Yeah. Final point for wrap up. What you're saying is, if you're born and bred in the city and you've come through the academy, you should retire at the club. That's what you're saying.
It's different, bro. It's not
after the question. You should retire at the club then, yes or no?
Coming from where you're coming from there and you're winning, coming from there, it's a different thing. You're different level of loyalty.
Answer his question, though, Don.
Answer my question, bro. Should you retire at the club then?
You said your question, should you stay there for the rest of your life? That's what football fans expect, obviously. That's why.
Is it right?
Answer the question, is it right? Should he retire at the club just because he's come through the club? Yes or no?
As a football fan, obviously. That's what you expect. That's why we're irritated that Ashley Cole left. That's why we're irritated that. Hold on. One sec. Why do you think it's going to be different? Why do you think it's going to be different for Arsenal fans if Saka leaves than if Martinelli leaves? Why do you think it's different? What's the difference?
Hold on.
No. Answer that question.
But we already everyone knows this. It hits different when you're one of your own leaves. That's not what I'm asking you. You're not
asking me. We don't start slagging Saka off if he goes to Barcelona.
Facts.
Of course we will.
Then you're entitled.
If Saka is Arsenal, are you mad?
No. You see, they even do this with Bukayo. Bukayo will leave.
If Saka leaves to go Barcelona,
bro.
Hey, free the man, then. That's what I say. Free the man.
Respectfully, man. Barcelona, if they're winning trophies and that, they're still messing around with Arteta and them, man.